Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to this issue of Nerd Flow. I have no idea what issue we on. I'm just throwing that there. The crew in the crib. Well, part of the crew. I'm gonna say 40% of the crew because we're missing 3, so that's 40%. All right, but we here tonight. We're gonna talk about Moon Knight. We're gonna talk about the Batman since it's on HBO Max. That means you have no excuse why you haven't seen it yet, and we're going to talk about some various other topics, whatever pops up. So, we want to give a shout out to Snapback, Briario, and our boy Royalty. And Royalty hit us with some good news, but we're going to wait till he come on to let him tell y'all about that. But, you know what I'm saying? We going to get started tonight. And because I feel like the Batman is going to take most of the time, we're going to start talking about Moon Knight tonight. We're going to talk about the Doctor Strange preview. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk about Thor, Love and Thunder. And we're going to talk about, what else come to mind? Because that fake ass Demon Slayer trailer, I looked at it from the jump. Yeah, that was fake. That was stitched together. That was not because those scenes they were showing were scenes from the first season when they was making.
My bad. I spread around some fugazi. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, it was a little bit fugazi, but you know what I'm saying. Let's get into it. Let's get it. As my boy Chris Como said before he got fired from CNN for taking up for his brother. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. So
I miss Chris.
I miss Chris Como, man. I miss Chris Como. He is missed at CNN. They can't really tell me he ain't missed at CNN.
But they said that grabbing a breast was sexual harassment. I thought once you started touching, it was assault. All right, okay. But
Chris Como didn't get fired for that. Chris Como got fired for holding up for his brother.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. His brother, Mayor Cuomo. They said, he was
Governor Cuomo, not Mayor. Governor.
Governor. Excuse me. He was his groping breasts, and that's sexual harassment.
I ain't gonna even lie to y'all.
That was sexual assault.
If by some chance the hell froze over and my brother became a politician.
It's gonna freeze.
Because it gotta freeze.
I gotta hold up for my little brother because my family comes first. That's my little brother. Even I'm gonna go to fuck off on him in private, but in public, I gotta hold up for the family.
You got to.
No fact.
I don't think he did nothing like family or in the person would do.
Because you think about. You know what? I'm saying that for
hold up before we get into it. Ain't nobody says.
I'm gonna say that for drunk nerds. Snap said we should do a drinking podcast. I'm gonna say that for drunk nerds.
We gotta have a disclaimer: the thoughts and the expressions of the drunk nerds are not that
Press Play Media Network Group
or Press Play Media Group. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So to get on topic, let's talk about these trailers first. We're gonna get into Thor.
Thunder was a tease, man.
It was a teaser trailer. It wasn't a full trailer.
It was like an A cup at the strip club, a tease.
It was not gonna release the full trailer until it's closer to the time. I don't think we're getting a full trailer until
I agree to that. A cups at the strip club
end of June. Oh my God!
Jeez.
If you A cup and ain't got no booty, you get changed. You do not get money.
Girl, get on out here. Girl, get on here. You
go quarters it. Where my laundry money?
Let me walk you home. Let me walk you home safely, baby. You don't need to be here.
But yeah, it wasn't really enough to
walk in the club like this. This my stick figure money.
Man, when they got some cars for real. But I don't know. It wasn't enough in the trailer for me to get excited about.
Let me stop. We body change.
It wasn't. I mean, it was like, okay, You show him getting back in shape. He's getting back in form. Okay, we get it. You show Star-Lord. You already know they dynamic from what was it? Ragnarok, and then part 3 or volume 2.
Appreciate how he was trying to. I still don't appreciate how Thor was trying to punk that man. Yeah. Like, we saved you, but we could have left you out there floating.
Star-Lord kind of flexed on himself though. Like,
no, man, like we left you out there floating. We could have left you out there floating. They don't know you. You be great. You come here, eat my chips, putting on my clothes, hitting on my girl, bro. We could have left you in outer space.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's true.
Exactly. No, he right.
You ain't that strong. If you was as strong as you say you was out there floating.
But Star-Lord did act like Riley Freeman. He was just like, oh, look at this old sexy flexy ass nigga right here. That nigga my age.
You got that. But back to the trailer though, I do like the way Marvel doing, like how they find reasons to throw like golden age costumes and the stuff, like how they did with Wanda and Vision on WandaVision when they had the little Halloween costume, when they showed Thor running, growing up, hitting the Lion King running, growing up scene, and they had him with his little teenager with the little suit on. I really do like how they do that, and I hope they continue doing that because it is pretty fly when they do it. Just see how they slide it in there.
The thing about that is just like we saw, because it's Iron Man, we saw the evolution of Tony suits. Captain America, we saw the evolutions of Cap suits. Mm-hmm. Those are really the only, and now we're seeing the evolutions of Thor suit but Avenger wise, those are really the only evolutions of the suits that we've seen. Because I mean, let's just be honest, when it comes to Spider-Man and it comes to the suits, the way that the story is going, we know the homemade suit. He instantly got some Stark tech. Like, once you get Stark tech, ain't no really too much evolution behind that. You got the chrome suit, but ain't too much evolution behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if he had to went from the homemade suit to the actual other just regular non-Stark tech suit, then Stark tech, then it would have been different. So I don't count that as evolution.
I think it makes sense. I'm not going against what you said, but I think it makes sense because how realistic is it that, like in the first Spider-Man movies with Toby, that he went from like the spray painted hoodie to like a Spider-Man suit? He a seamstress. Like, it makes sense to like why.
The way they explained it is that it was just the because even in the animated series, the way he got his suit in the movie is the way he got his suit in the animated series, which I feel like they based the movie more off the animated series versus the comics, because the way it was explained in the animated series from Fox is that the sense of the spider of knowing how to weave is what gave him the sense of putting the suit together.
I like that.
That's his scientific knowledge.
I like that.
Keep that same energy later on.
So my funny Thor Ragnarok or Thor Love and Thunder story. We're in a small Walmart just outside of Austin. And walking around, and every time we go to Walmart, Target, we always go to the toy sections. Target has two. Target has the one in electronics or the collectibles, and then they have a regular toy section. Sometimes they kind of intersect and they have the same things. Anyway, we're in Walmart, and we're looking around, and I see like the Todd McFarlane DC toys and all that, the Riddler, and I'm like, I can get it, but I mean, whatever. I look up at the top, and I see these Marvel Legends boxes. I know what they look like because I buy them. And I look up and I pull them down, and it's Thor Ragnarok. And I thinking, I'm like, oh, look at this. They had party. I call him Party Thor, but they had Thor in his regular costume. They had Thor in his traditional costume, and they had Groot, and they had somebody else. But I saw Thor in his party costume, and I was like, I gotta have this. So I put it in a basket, right? Anyway, fast forward, go through our finish our trip. We go and ring it up. Get to the line. Doo-doo-doo. It's not ringing up. Doo-doo-doo. So she tried to type it in the phone. It's not coming up. She called somebody else over. He put it in his phone. Yeah, it's not coming up, but normally these toys are $24.97 or whatever. You know, Walmart 97. So the lady says, well, we can't sell this toy because it's not in the system. And I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, she was like, well, how much is it? I'm like, well, it was under a sticker that said $9.99, right? You know, I'm like, it's under a sticker that said $9.99. You know, but I came forth and I said, typically these toys are $19.99, but it was under a sticker that said $9.99. So I don't know. I just played coy. I was like, I don't know. So she was like, I can't sell you this toy. I was like, well, can't you call the manager over here and manually charge me for the toy? She's like, all right. So she went, send the boy over there, the guy over there. He went and got the manager. She came over. She was like, well, she tried to do the same thing. And she was like, well, how much did it show up for? I said, hey, it was under a sticker. That was for $9.99. I said, typically these are $19.99, but it was under a sticker for $9.99. So I don't know.
Let me ask this real quick. Does that Walmart have Aunt Annie's pretzels in it?
No.
Oh, yeah. I would have walked off from your ass because if anything, I would have been at Aunt Annie's getting me a hot pretzel and some lemonade while you sitting over there trying to finesse.
And I held up the line too, and the people were mad, but I didn't give it 2 shits.
Yep,
you know
would have been
I mean?
at Aunt Annie's.
I didn't give 2 shits because I'm like, I'm finna finesse this goddamn toy. Anyway, so she was like, well, I'm gonna charge you $10. How's that sound? I said, hey, if you want to try, hey, that's fine. And I thought about it. I was like, should I run back there and get the other one?
The rest of the collection.
Just relax. And I'm like,
boy, if you don't come on here,
boy, if you don't bring your ass.
But hey, you know, Love and Thunder, you know, $10. You know, hey, I can't be mad at it. Shout out to Walmart. They ain't gonna miss that money.
Nah, they ain't gonna miss it at all.
Anyway.
Oh, if y'all don't notice, the hairline growing back for your boy, you know what I'm saying? I'll put y'all look on game a little later. But
I did like the look of Jane though.
Yeah, what was up with the hammer?
It was, you know, his sister had broke it.
That's why he went and got, you know what I'm saying?
He had to go back to the past to get it.
So they super glued it back together?
I don't know.
So was in his room crying about the hammer with super glue? I can't believe her. Wish Dad would have never let her out.
Hey, the axe hammer combo. What's the name of the axe and the hammer?
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker is way cooler than Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Mjolnir, yes, it is.
Yeah,
It is, but it's you know, Mjolnir is just more iconic.
It's more iconic. But Stormbreaker said, "Come and hold." Stormbreaker seen Mjolnir and said, "Hold my beer."
But it's Stormbreaker. I don't know if Stormbreaker has the same premise.
It doesn't. But when Thor landed on Earth,
can anybody? Because can't just anybody wield Mjolnir.
Only who's worthy.
He who is worthy shall channel the power of Thor.
But that's the same thing for Stormbreaker.
I don't know because it was just made by that was put on there by Odin.
Yeah.
Yes, and you know the dwarf made that one.
Yeah.
But during Infinity, was it Infinity? Yeah, during Infinity War where Thor landed on Earth, wielded Stormbreaker. Can't say that scene wasn't classic.
It was classic, but at the same time, when Cap got Mjolnir.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Hey, I can't even take that because I really feel like when it came to cool scenes, Tony Spider-Man had the most cool scenes when it came to Avengers. But when he called the hammer and said, and you hear Cap on your left, and he say Avengers Assemble, like throwing popcorn in the air.
Nah, that first reveal for Black, it was the first reveal for Black Panther for me.
Oh, yeah.
When he rolled, when he tackled on that roof and rolled and had the little pole, I was like,
yeah. We went crazy. Hey, bro, we all in the movies together, T. Yo, we went crazy. We went crazy.
Right.
But you know what? I was watching Black Panther the other day because I got a 4K TV now, so I just got to watch all my old movies.
Ooh.
There you go.
Don't put me up on game. He said, "Nigga, you got to get you some 4Ks in your life. It's gonna change your life." So yeah,
it will.
So you know how we used to talk about how. Let's think of evolution. When you're younger, you see the Jeffersons and you see how George walked, right? Then we had Barack Obama come in, when they killed Osama bin Laden, how he walked off from the podium. It was like, I see it. You put the G step in. I saw you. You see T'Challa walk up in there when he first walking up into Siri lab, and he walk up in there and he looking at everybody and he just everybody saluting and he do the handshake with Siri and Shuri. I'm saying Siri. Fuck.
I fallen on the brain, damn.
No, Shuri.
Never mind. I'm bringing that up.
Shuri and they do the handshake. I was just like, boy. That was some of the blackest stuff I ever seen on film.
Yes.
Because it was so good. That the handshake with the, with the salute. And then he walked off smooth, but then she hit him with the what are those?
What are those?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you making the ancestors proud, them Uncle Sanders, that dope got at the grill.
I told you our generation got their own grilling sandals. I'm gonna get some. Y'all playing.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm getting some of them Nike sandals from when I grill. Them our generation. Them our generation grilling sandals.
I got some.
I ain't talking about the slides. I'm talking about the sandals.
Oh yeah.
I got some. You just ain't seen them yet. The sandals that strap across the top.
Yeah, I'm getting some.
Strap around the ankle.
I'm getting some of them when I grill.
Yeah, we've been drinking too much.
I put some steaks on the grill this Sunday so far.
I had this thought. How ridiculous is this, right? It's off topic, but it crossed my mind today. Peter Parker legit would go fight the Rhino, get punched in the face by a 400-pound man, and then come home and have an eviction notice on his door. There's no way I can have superpowers and not be getting paid for them. But I just got punched by a man who can flip a bus, and I gotta worry about getting kicked out.
No,
y'all gotta pay me.
Hey, yo, like real talk. I thought about this once before. Like, you remember when we was watching the animated series? Peter was always, when he moved out of Aunt May's house, he was always worried about bills. Then
you hear me?
Hey, my guy.
Ain't no way.
I thought about it. What's the name of that movie that got Morgan Freeman? Is it Morgan Freeman or Samuel Jackson? Where the guy is Morgan Freeman, where the guys can teleport and they can be anywhere in the world.
Jumper.
Jumper, yeah.
Looper or Jumper? Something.
No, it's Jumper. It's Jumper. Loopers was with I can't think of his name. But
Looper is Jumper. I know. Yeah.
I'll be like
Anakin?
Huh?
Anakin. Yeah, Anakin.
Yeah.
Before he went emo. Yeah.
Well, that was with Samuel.
Yeah. So this is what I thought about. I was just like,
that's a good movie.
Damn, Pete. You really can go and get you a couple of stacks, pay up your bills for a few years, and just worry about being Spider-Man. You ain't even got to deal with J. Jonah Jameson.
That man had to side hustle he was side hustling his heroism. Like he was taking pictures of himself fighting crime to pay bills. I ain't saying that y'all got to make me a millionaire, but y'all definitely gonna have to pay nigga man. I'm gonna have to get in on these endorsements. Like,
it's gonna be like A-Train them, like the boys, like
the boys, yeah. I'm talking about the first time they don't pay me.
That goes against everything that Peter Parker stands for, because we just watched what was we just watched? No Way Home. And the
Man,
moment,
movie, I need them to take home out of the title.
yeah,
Next
spoiler alert.
Spider-Man.
But the moment he was like, "No, don't send them back. I can fix them." You know that ain't a man that want to get paid for his work, because it's
Nah,
like he don't.
Uncle Ben fucked them up.
It's like, dude, you can't fix these folks, man. Just send them back to their universe, let them die or whatever they gonna do, and then that's it.
But
No Way Home.
No, but
No Way Home was so
no.
full of. That's what made me not like No Way Home. Like that's one of the. I like the movie, but I don't like the movie. The foreshadowing was too obvious. Like it was just like, which gonna get us to Batman once we talk about this, but we're gonna talk about foreshadowing. But we knew once they got captured. We knew once we saw. Once we saw, I don't know why Nigma came to my head, but not Nigma. But I've been watching too much Gotham. Over the past. I'm almost finished with Gotham. But once we saw, come on, give it to me. Green Goblin, real person. Norman Osborn. In that with Aunt May, I knew he was gonna kill Aunt May. I knew it.
Man, that's what movies do now. Like a lot of movies are just heavy on foreshadowing.
And when we saw all them captured, and it was just like when it was revealed that they're gonna die. Oh, this nigga is not gonna send them back home because he don't want them to die. He think he can fix them.
And he's a superhero.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
Guarantee you, if that was Tony would have been like, send them home.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
Yeah, y'all like thinking that, but no, he wouldn't.
You gotta go. Tony
risked everything after he started feeling sorry and realized that, dang, I do miss these people. So I'm gonna help them out.
Not even that. Like at the end, hold up.
Tony didn't
blah, 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 blah.
He almost got killed by Thanos. But before that, Tony was just like, hey, let's get rid of these folks.
No, he didn't.
Hey man, Angry, get it out, because that boy said blah blah blah.
I really don't appreciate
right so much. He be just trying to overtalk everybody, man. He get on my nerve. I don't even want to say. I forgot what I was finna say.
Good, because it probably didn't make no sense no that way.
Oh yeah, but on the Tony situation, like he didn't care. Like at the beginning of Endgame, he was literally like, "I'm like, if I do this, like my daughter still come first." And at the end of it, he was like, killed himself.
Yeah.
So he makes sacrifice. He was.
I ain't talking about Endgame though. We talking about Tony before the kid. We talking about Tony before Spider-Man. Because let's start.
Spider-Man, he flew on the first Avengers. He flew in the black hole with the missile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Pete really started to change his heart. Him having a daughter really changed his heart.
Tony.
What was he? So what was he when he flew in the black hole with the missile? What was he then?
He was being Tony, having a moment of. He was having a moment.
I know.
Let's think about it. Let's think of Tony and think about the evolution of Tony.
He ain't the asshole you want him to be.
Exactly.
Think about the first movie when he snapped because he was like, "No, we got time." When he was talking to Jensen, when he was like, "No, there's time," and Jensen was like, "No, there's no more time," and I'll make a diversion for you. Like he was willing to wait it out then and sacrifice himself then to see if he had enough time for his suit to download the information. That was the start of Iron Man, and he was willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, because
what I'm saying about Tony is like when it came to the hard choices, I felt like Tony was the one to make the hard choices and not think 3 times about it.
So like
if you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve the suit.
Man, like, can we talk about how Uncle Ben fucked Spider-Man head up? When he said, "With great power comes great responsibility," that man meant when you get through with your 9 to 5 and the toilet clogs when you get home, you unclog it so you ain't gotta call no plumber. That what Uncle Ben meant. He ain't mean get electrocuted by a dude and then still be struggling eating ramen noodles and drinking water out the faucet. I
Nah,
just feel
Uncle
bad
Ben
for
did. I
Spider-Man,
gotta
bro.
agree with you on that because I guarantee you, if Uncle Ben had great power, Uncle Ben was gonna work his 9 to 5, unclog the toilet, but
But
at the end of the day, he was gonna be eating prime rib
If I find out
and
one of y'all
drinking the
got
great
superpowers
Chardonnay.
and y'all fighting crime for free, y'all can't ask me for no money. You better go ask Uncle Sam. Now I'm struggling out here as a regular person. You think I'm finna help your superpower
Because
there?
everybody ain't Tony, everybody ain't Bruce,
You hear me? You can,
everybody ain't Green. I
you
forget
got the
that
power to
nigga
lift
name.
an ATM machine. I ain't saying that what you need to do, but I'm saying you got the power to. And you think I'm finna give you? I just got to scooting slot machines off a lift, struggling doing it, and you got the power to do it with one hand. And I'm finna give you some of my no.
My boy got a
Hard
No,
R,
he got
really
a
hard R.
valid point. That's a
man,
Not
valid
a play.
point.
you're paying me, Uncle Sam. Fuck what Uncle Ben said.
I can't even argue with the man.
Moon Knight, because we've been on a non-topic for a minute.
All right, y'all. Let's talk about Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, which I'm actually more excited to see than Thor.
me too.
True.
Me too.
100%.
I just be honest. I'm tired of Thor. I
But No
really
Way
have.
Home gave me that, made me want to see that even more.
Yeah, I have no interest. If I have no interest in Jane at all.
She is a very just forgettable
Like,
character,
yeah, I had no interest in Jane. Like the what was the second Thor movie? The Dark
which was one of the worst movies in
the MCU. That's probably the last.
It's bottom three.
It's probably at the bottom of those three.
Oh, it is the bottom of the three Thor movies. It's
Yeah.
Ragnarok,
No,
the
I'm
first
talking
one.
of all Marvel movies
Oh yeah, it's bottom.
because the
Very
Thor
bottom.
franchise is very subpar versus the first Thor movie.
No, Ragnarok is the best one.
What I'm
But
saying
see,
is,
and Tiger directing this one, so it might still be good.
I think it'll be good. I think Doctor Strange just got me a little more
excited.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because it's been so much
It's the
more
fact
build up.
yeah, and the thing is with the build up, we got one division that's
Yep.
building up into Doctor Strange. We got Spider-Man building up into Doctor Strange. You
And
know,
I
we
need to
got
see what's up
Loki
with her.
Even
building up
Loki,
we got
even Loki.
three mediums building up into Doctor Strange.
Only way I'm gonna like this Thor movie better if they introduce Nova. I'm not gonna go on my Nova rant till I got did
No,
that
you know
enough.
what? You might get Nova in this one.
Well, I
I don't
better.
know.
I
I'm
feel
tired
like
You might get a glimpse.
I feel like in the second Eternals, that's when we gonna get Nova.
I'm sick of.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because
Most likely, guaranteed, it's gonna be a teaser in Guardians.
yeah, it may be it's gonna give us a teaser in Guardians, but the second Eternals, like Nova is gonna we gonna get Nova either in the Marvels or the second Eternals. But I feel like he gonna really show his face in the Marvels. Cause it makes more sense to me, thought wise, to him to really show his face in the Marvels, and then in the second Eternals thing, he actually gets his own movie.
He'll probably get a TV show. I don't think.
I feel like
Yeah.
TV show would be better for him also, because I'm
Yeah.
excited about Ironheart also. So, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. So, all right. But what are your thoughts on the teaser trailer for the full trailer for Doctor Strange, which comes out next month?
Ooh, I'm
ready.
excited. It's even more like visible for the Superior Iron Man. So I'm even more convinced that's Tom Cruise. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not excited for a Tom Cruise Iron Man.
I
I'm stick-
am. I want his arrogant. I want his
From the
arrogant,
clip I
but
saw, I want to see him.
yes, I'm sorry. He's
I'm not excited for a Tom.
I'm just ready for this. I feel like this is finna bring the X-Men, and you know I want a new Fantastic Four. I feel because they
Yeah.
showed. I'm pretty sure that they showed
We
Professor
already
X.
know how we feel about Fantastic
yeah.
Four because other than Silver Surfer in the first Fantastic Four, Fox really just screwed the pooch.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer was straight. The first one was decent. I liked the very first.
You know what? I loved Fantastic Four even back then. The first one
The
and
first
the second
one,
one.
I could not stand the second. The one
I love
when
the
Johnny got everybody powers and like the Silver Surfer was just a robot. Like I know he ain't like he was in the Silver Surfer like cartoon we was little. Like I know he ain't like that, but he was a robot.
He was still under Galactus power.
And then they showed Galactus. I mean, he was always been under
Now, that's
Galactus
what pissed
power.
me
Like
off.
that's how he got,
That's the only thing
his
that pissed me
power.
off about the second Silver Surfer. I mean, the second Fantastic Four. First of all, it was Von Doom becoming Dr. Doom. That shit pissed me off the way they went about it. The Silver Surfer, I could understand his persona because when you think about even in the cartoons and the comics when he first came to Earth, he was the herald of Galactus. That he was robotic. He did exactly what Galactus told him to do. But eventually he breaks the hold that Galactus has on him. So I understood that. But when they showed Galactus and a goddamn cloud.
The forecast is cloudy.
Cloudy.
With a
no
chance
of sunshine.
Is
Where you get a chance of a silver streak in the sky. Bruh, I literally was pissed. Nigga, y'all
did they have the rights to show Galactus the way he was though?
No, back then people didn't really understand the whole Sony Fox situation back then. So maybe that's what it was. But look, they need to squash that shit. Y'all fucking up movies.
But Marvel has ownership of Fantastic Four now. I really like honestly because I've been reading. I haven't seen Morbius yet, but I've been reading reviews. Sony.
It wasn't as bad as people made it.
It's not as bad, but it's not as good either.
But for the universe of Spider-Man, Sony, I need you to just either go ahead and sell to Marvel, Disney Marvel, so that they can correct the universe of Morbius in the Spider-Man universe. Because the way y'all did Morbius, he does not fit into the Spider-Man universe.
Here's the thing: they all can't be 10s knocked out of the park, right? Morbius, if you watch it, is definitely setting up something. It's like the Eternals. It's a stepping stone movie. It's not one of the major hits.
Here's the thing:
individually, they're not bad, right?
Okay, but individually, but
if you look at like the after credit scene and all that, it's clearly setting something up for something. I don't want to spoil it,
but even in the comics, here's the thing between Peter Parker and Michael Morbius, Felicia Hardy. When it all boils down to it, Felicia Hardy is the cornerstone of that universe.
See, TJ said, TJ McNeil says, I think that if it wasn't for them type of Marvel movies, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are at right now. And I concur.
That's true.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my boy Mally Mal.
And Rosie said it's not supposedly it's not Superior Iron Man that we're thinking it is. And
I didn't see
to this day, Tom Cruise with facial hair just not appeal to me at all. So I don't see
shit because you're a man. So
what I'm saying is Tom Cruise.
What did you say?
I mean, shout out to my gay.
Don't get me wrong. I feel like we need Tom Cruise playing a villain is something I would like to see. Tom Cruise and what's the movies he was playing in where he was the secret agent?
Minority Report.
Mission Impossible.
Jack Reacher is Jack Reacher.
Oh yeah,
I could deal with
They're
can
all
deal
the
with that
same
of
type of character. Spy,
No,
kick people
but
ass, and that's
but
it.
Tom
Cool
Cruise is
gadgets.
not a Tony Stark. Robert Downey, don't call me spoiled, but if you ever been a fan of Robert Downey Jr., even going back to the Breakfast Club,
Soap dish.
he was the epitome of a Tony Stark.
Because of his personality.
Exactly.
But that's the reason they're actors, though. Like, so
Exactly.
you can step outside of who you
But
are.
it was just like
and act.
But
Robert Downey Jr. was born. He was born. He was ordained.
he was-
said,
exactly. Don't
he was
forget
a hot
Tom
shot
Cruise and Top Gun.
He's a cocky mug, and in real life,
He's
I mean,
still cocky.
but see, even in Top Gun, he's cocky, but he's not Tony cocky.
no, Tony Stark would have stood on the upper couch, and Tom Cruise did that IRL.
Not Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
He didn't just stand on it. He fucked your couch,
Yeah,
stomping on that mug.
because they make Tony seem cool, but honestly, Tony would be in real life. Tony would be eccentric. You know, he would be an eccentric billionaire.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and throw this out here. My version of a Tony Stark in real life is an Elon Musk.
True.
Excuse you?
I can kind
But
of
in real life,
But let me throw this in there. Just think about. I
But
can
not
imagine
really,
a
though.
real life Tony.
Oh, nowhere near. He's too quiet.
Elon Musk
Weird.
I
doesn't own
would
a house
rather
right now.
Richard Branson be a Tony Stark than him.
Yeah, I can see a Richard Branson also.
I can't
Yeah.
see Elon Musk.
But the
Oh
thing
no,
is,
I know Elon.
Elon Musk is what
Richard Branson, most definitely.
Reason I say Elon Musk is because
The
Elon
technology?
Musk has not even tech. He has a I don't give a f attitude. Like he would literally go on a podcast smoking weed. He would literally go to parties getting dead drunk. He would literally and he's going to do what he wants to do. And
He ain't got the persona. Like
he
you
doesn't
can.
have the persona. He used to have it, but
I don't
he's
think he
the
ever
truth.
had it.
No, because Elon Musk don't even own a house right now. He crashed on a friend's couch, literally. That's not Tony
Yeah.
Stark.
He's staying somewhere in Austin. It's
I
like
just,
randomly.
Allegedly, that's what I read.
Yeah.
He don't have a house right now.
yeah, he just crazy. Hey, I'm gonna be in town for the weekend. Can I use your couch?
Like, look, I don't know where I'm staying.
Richard has a whole
If you
island.
ever in Biloxi, holler at your boy. Like Rick, cost you that for like 10 mil.
Hey,
So
Eli,
you feel like
please come
10
stay over
mil,
here.
like, you can stay here as long as you want to. Like holler at your boy. You know, it's a drop in the bucket. You know, 10 mil a drop in the bucket. I ain't asking for much.
For real.
You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
get on my feet real quick, E.
Yeah, let me. But if you ever in
Holla at
Biloxi,
me,
you know what
E.
I'm saying? Holler at your boy. I'll DM you and send you the real credentials.
Get
You
on
know
my
what I'm
Tracy
saying?
Morgan around. Holla at me, E.
Hey yo, holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Holla at
Hey,
me,
real
E.
talk.
Come on, E. Holla at me. 10 mil. No.
Sounding like Rocky now. Adrian. But anyway, all right, y'all. So let's move on to what we're gonna get into. Moon Knight. Because I feel like we gonna rant. We got a couple of rants about Batman. We got a couple of defenders about the Batman.
I ain't got nothing to say about that, man.
Okay,
So
Moon Knight.
we gonna let y'all take it first, and then I'll give my critique on Moon.
Don't let her take it, because she be like,
And reeled me in on the first episode. It's kind of losing. It lost me on the second episode.
In the series
Yeah, because it was.
Like,
If you gonna give me everything, if you gonna give me everything in each episode. Don't just put it all in one episode and then let me down the next episode because I'm gonna be disappointed.
Can you at least watch the series before you say best Marvel series ever?
I said it looks like.
Mhm.
Looks can be deceiving.
And they were.
And they were. Because the first episode pulls you in, it brings you all the way up, and then at this very last ending, it like boom, okay, your attention is grabbed.
And that's the premise of a good show. But the meat in the show is when you I read Moon Knight 1 back in what?
Hold on. Hold on, what episode? We're at episode 3, right?
We're on episode
4
3.
Yeah, 4 come out
4
tomorrow.
comes out tomorrow.
So what?
All right, so we got 3 episodes in. Let's just discuss these 3 episodes and how y'all feel about what these 3 episodes.
But hold on, but I got a preface with this. I got a preface with this. When I read Moon Knight issue 1, okay, the dude literally had like 5 or 7 personalities. What was it, Royalty? I know Royalty watching, like 5 or 7. But
like it's 10.
And he had, and it's like he started out as like a soldier for hire. And he was working for I forget what this dude's name is, but he didn't like the way.
Yeah, he was in the military. Yeah.
And then he had like a helper, like named Frenchie. You know what I mean? So it's like he was a Batman. Frenchie was his Alfred, but he had 10 different personalities, and there was a woman involved as well. Like her dad got killed or something.
That's the girl, his wife.
That's his wife. Okay, but in this series, it seems like it's taking on like maybe another. I don't know. It's taking on a different.
They building. I'm gonna let you finish.
Go ahead. I don't know because
they building the different personalities because if y'all remember in the second episode when what's his name?
Personality is mentioned in episode 3. Royalty said.
Yeah.
When he said
5. Okay.
When he was like, Steven, what did you do? When he was holding the knife, he didn't kill him, and Steven was like, it wasn't me. The next person, and then they had the scene with him being in the cab, which I feel like, and he was like, oh, you speak Pakistani or whatever it was, because one of his personalities is a cab driver. So I feel like that's what the scene behind him being in the taxi cab when he hopped out the cab and chased the dude. The dude who killed the 2 guys, I feel like that's going to be the taxi cab persona. So they building them up. I feel like
it must be because Khonshu is not there yet. So maybe if I read later in more episodes, Khonshu makes his debut at some point. But Khonshu's already there, and he's an annoying character as it is. Maybe he's on to some truths, but the way they present him, he's very annoying. And I think he's executed poorly because it's like, if you're going to make an annoying character like a Jar Jar Binks, you got to make him some type of like lovable. And Khonshu is not, you know what I mean? He's just annoying.
So he's a D-bag.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay.
I'm going to let Tink go then. I'm going to give my perspective.
But, it's just like right now.
You ain't the best. You ain't got to go last all the time, motherfucker.
Right. But then it's just like, okay, so, and then it's like, you got 2 Moon Knights. You got the serious Moon Knight that's like Batman, then you got the Moon Knight in the suit. And it's like,
I thought it was dope because that is in the comic books. The Moon Knight in the suit was in the comic book, and I was wondering how they was gonna pull it off. And the way they pulled it off, it was hilarious and it was genius to me. When Steven
my boy said solar. My boy said transform Moon Knight into tuxedo mask.
Bro, and that scene when he was fighting
tuxedo mask, and then he landed and he said fusion with Deadpool.
that scene when Steven had the body and he thought he was finna fight, and they started sticking his ass with them spears, and that motherfucker said, "Take the body, take the body." Boy,
I do find it cool his transitions to when he get hit or something, and then he just do the little black eye, and then he come back to life and everybody fucked up. I like that, but
I feel like it got
that Disney way of keeping it kind of PG.
Yeah.
Because the whole when he did the moon thing, when he moved the stars, that shit was dope.
And then
that was pretty cool.
When he did that, I said, "Yep."
And R.I.P. to what's his name? R.I.P. to the guy who
what's his name?
That played Hannibal.
Yeah,
that was like his last performance, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, man, he should have been a villain in the MCU somewhere. Like he just looks like a villain to me because he was the shit in that Hannibal movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It was a very good movie.
Hannibal Rising.
Right.
Yeah.
I love Hannibal. I love the whole. Is
it Gaspar Uleo?
I can't remember.
I think that's his name, but yeah, it's something like that.
with some fava bean.
Yeah, the whole series.
Yeah, Gaspar Ulliel that passed away at 37.
Is one of my favorite, which is a horror series, which it won an Oscar for, which people thought it was a thriller, but it was a horror series, and that's why it won the Oscar for a thriller. But it was an actual horror series, so it was the only horror movie to ever win the Oscar. But you know that whole Silence of the Lambs, we not even going there. The whole Silence of the Lamb, you know, not to get off topic, but I love that whole series. All right, moving on. All right, so I
think Moon Knight is kind of like, it's only the third episode. So let's see, but from where it's unfolding, is, you know, let's see where it goes. As far as the third episode, it's kind of lost me.
It's 6 episodes in all.
Let's not forget how we felt about like the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. The first 2 episodes of WandaVision, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? I love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo, black and white bullshit. Like I the first episode, definitely, I was like, bro, I don't think I'm watching the rest of this. The second episode, I was like, okay, I can see where y'all going. And the third episode caught me.
Yeah.
Here's my thing about Moon Knight. I understand where they're going, and that's what's keeping me intrigued. Because Moon Knight is such a complex character, and with the different personalities and what he's going through right now, you're not going to get everything you want in an hour.
And it's an origin series too.
And why they decided to do it as a series, because you weren't going to get everything you wanted in a movie. Because even in we've had a movie within these 3 episodes, the length of a movie they could have been, and we still don't have everything we want.
So are you saying that Morbius should have been a show instead of a movie?
Morbius should have been a show instead of a movie.
I agree on that. I definitely agree on that. Yeah.
I honestly feel like there are certain characters.
I can see where you say Morbius should be a show. That's show material.
When we start talking about Batman, I'm going to give y'all my reasons of why I feel like a lot of characters that they put inside a movie should now have a show versus being in the movie. And if they want to make an appearance in a movie, then make an appearance, but they shouldn't be the main character.
Okay, and let me say this really quickly. I know Tyrese over these last few years has become a meme, and rightfully so. But but the thing is, Rock came in. The dude had a hibachi grill in his backyard. He was eating good, and Rock came in and stole his thunder. And he was mad. He was like, "Damn, Rock coming in, killing the whole thing. I can't eat." You know what I mean? I'm mad. Anyway, I digress from that. In my opinion, Tyrese did an excellent job as a serious detective in this movie. I would like to see Tyrese in the role of what's the HBO show, True Detective? I would like to see Tyrese in a True Detective role, just how his gravitas and his seriousness and his tone in this movie it was almost too good. I'm like, damn, Tyrese, you should have saved this performance for another cop role, because he was good and convincing to me.
Here's the thing about Tyrese.
So kudos to Tyrese in this role as a cop.
His Fast series persona aside, Tyrese is a good actor. I don't really like Tyrese in the Fast series because him and Ludacris. I liked him in Transformers. Don't get me wrong, but him and Ludacris started off as side characters. They wasn't. I don't feel like him and Ludacris was supposed to proceed past the point where they were supposed to stop it, which was that movie when they both came into play. But
Ludacris, especially, like, that was weird that he became a main character. I mean, I'm glad. Shout out to my boy Luda. I hooked up with a chick that she thought I looked like you, and I was.
But I mean, like, real talk. But let's go ahead and move into this Batman series, because with Moon Knight, I feel like we only getting 6 episodes of Moon Knight, so it's gonna leave a lot of people unsatisfied. The people who know Moon Knight are going to be unsatisfied. The people who don't know Moon Knight may leave with plot holes.
It's gonna be unsatisfied. I think it's doing a good job of setting. What you gotta realize too is it's an origin series about a character that a lot of people don't know about. So it's still got to set up like, you know, it can't just jump like how they did with Spider-Man when they introduced Spider-Man in Civil War. Like he was already established because you've seen Spider-Man so many times that you didn't need the backstory. You didn't need to see Uncle Ben get shot again. Like you didn't need to see him get bit by the spider again. But with Moon Knight, with this being a new series, like they gotta show all this. Like they gotta.
And the thing is, they're gonna end up doing some flashbacks showing how Kanju chose him and some more stuff.
And that's what they need to do. They need to do that because they gonna have to. Because even when he was like,
Mark, that I'm sorry, and to come and get me, Steven and Mark gonna have a conversation about how Mark ended up becoming into service of Kanju.
They're gonna have to, because even when he was like, when they was talking about the girl's dad, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" And she asked Mark, "What was he talking about?" Like, I feel like that's where the Steven persona came from. Whatever happened between Mark and old girl's dad when they were looking for the scarab or whatever, I feel like him and the dad, I don't know, maybe the dad got possessed by something. He had to kill the dad, and he had to go into hiding. And once he went into hiding, because they already showed they know somebody who make fake passports and stuff. So I feel like he went to her and was like, "I need another persona." Probably had Captain America on the screen and was like, "Steve, give me Steven, give me Steve." He got the Steve persona, and he was acting like Steve for a minute, and then he snapped.
And that's why Steve is calling this imaginary number, thinking that he's talking to his mother when he's really not talking to his mother. He's calling an imaginary number, thinking he's calling his mom.
So yeah, I like it though. Like I'm ready for tomorrow. Like do it come out at 12 o'clock? I might be up.
I think at like 3 because I stayed up till like 12 last week and it didn't.
I'll be asleep. I gotta be at work in the morning. I ain't got them type of times in my system.
Oh, big guy got a job. Ooh.
You ain't talking. Not. I go to bed at 5 o'clock because I gotta be at work in the morning. I digress. But anyway,
Batman.
The Batman.
I'm not.
All right, so this is how we gonna do this. We gonna do.
No, let's argue. Review. No, let's argue.
No, we gonna go negative review.
Let's argue.
Yeah, let's argue.
I don't agree with Angry B got point and your point,
and I don't agree with your point.
And then you talking about falling asleep on it, which I can kind of agree with, but not that many damn times.
Like I had it's on HBO, so it's on HBO.
I'll be back. My head too shiny for this.
Grab a hat, grab a fitted, snap. Anyway, we can keep talking.
But
I need my backup here. Y'all ain't finna jump on me.
He knew it. He had to go get it. No, but okay, all right. Let me let them get their points out the way. Go ahead.
Maybe.
You said you fell asleep on the movie. All right, I fell asleep on
I fell asleep on the movie 3 times. I forced myself. When I woke up yesterday after falling asleep on the movie again, I rewinded back to the part that I remember before I fell asleep and forced myself to watch the movie.
I fell asleep.
All right, go though.
So here's the thing. Y'all got my story of how I ordered the tickets wrong. I explained that in another podcast. But I'm sitting close. Well, we're close to the screen, but we're on the side. The film is already dark as it is. So I'm sitting, and you know how the screen, when you close, it's like already a bad viewing angle. So it's dark. I had a drink in the movie theater, and I was just, it was like, man, I fell asleep. But I was up, but I fell asleep. It's just the the formula to fall asleep. You know what I
Tink
mean?
got on his ass and he said, "Blame it on the
No, but here's the thing
baby.
though. We went to go see it again, and I was wide awake. And guess who fell asleep?
I already seen the movie, and I was already tired.
With the No. Listen, we can clearly say that with the darkness and the dialogue, if you really not all the way there, it's fuel to fall asleep. Not saying the movie is boring, it's just the setting, like the darkness and some of the scenes is kind of drawn out and it's dark and dim. If you ain't all the way there, you might fall asleep.
It's a lot of
panel have done it. I'm not mad at none of us.
A lot of dialogue.
The first Batman beginning was dark. I didn't fall asleep on it. And I'm not saying the movie bad. I feel like every part they played was excellent. I feel like they picked the perfect cast for this movie.
What's your problem with the movie though? You told me. Tell me again. What we talked about in chat.
Batman was just taking L's the entire. And I understand. Oh, this year 3 woo wop the bam.
No, let's be 2. That's it.
Year 2, 3. Year 2.
It's year 2 Batman.
How long was being the Scarecrow?
But that don't
exactly.
Matter. Don't matter.
Let's be clear. He did not beat the Scarecrow. The whole Selena storyline, the Riddler. I don't know why.
But you can't take that approach, bro. If I'm the dude laying the Easter eggs out for the kids to find, I got the upper hand. I don't care if they've been looking for Easter eggs for 5 years of their life. It's my first year laying Easter eggs. I know where I put the Easter eggs. The kids that had 5 years experience of finding Easter eggs, they don't know where I put them.
To say he was supposed to be Detective Batman this time and not whoop ass Batman. Well, let's be clear, he was whooping some ass. That subway scene, he looked like Batman from Arkham City. Like he was whooping some ass.
Where they were shooting him in the dark with the Uzi and it was bouncing off his chest and all of
that was tough.
Man, come on.
That was tough, but like I feel like, and to say he's supposed to be a detective in this movie, like. How dumb, I don't care what anybody says, how dumb is it for you to be looking for a girl, find her, fall in love, I don't blame you for falling in love with her, falling in love with Selena at first sight, follow her, get back to the house, the girl that you were looking for in the picture with the guy who died, you like, yeah, I'm done looking for her. What? It didn't make sense. You can't make that make sense to me. If she was your lead, she was linked to the mayor who died. She was your lead and she disappeared. You don't think that got nothing to do with what you're looking for? And you just stop looking for her and let Selena look for her on her own? Selena found the dude you was looking for. She's like, when I find him, I'll let you know. Didn't make sense. The whole Selena storyline with her and Falcone being her daddy, they could have left that shit out because it didn't change anything.
They would have saved
that part.
It would have saved the hour of the movie.
That part is in the Long Halloween. So this is what I'm getting to.
They could have took
that was in the Long Halloween. It didn't have to be in the movie.
They could have left that arc out. I'm not gonna lie.
That was a whole 30 minutes that they could have took out the movie because it didn't make sense. I mean, I'm gonna say it didn't make sense, but it was completely unnecessary. It didn't lead to anything. It could have just been he was the reason her friend got killed. But that whole you fucked my mom, you didn't have shit to do with me. I ain't need all that. Yeah, I ain't need all that at all.
Called the Batman and the Catwoman, then that probably would have made sense or something. But no, yeah. If we just introducing year 2 Batman and all this, I agree with that part. But you're saying that saying that he was dumb or he was a bad detective. And
he solved it better than the police. I say that.
Big whoop.
Because
big whoop. I'm saying, all right, if something happens, I'm just using you as an example, because you hear, if something happened to Quinn, God forbid, and let's just say I'm looking for him, I see that Tink is his roommate, right? Well, no, yeah, Tink is his roommate. I go follow Tink. We get back to the house, and Quinn is missing now. Like he's missing, and he was linked to somebody. Quinn was linked to you, dope.
Right.
He was linked to you.
I'm Falcone.
I'm following. No, you're the mayor.
I'm the mayor.
You're the mayor. You're the mayor. Quinn is linked to you. You and Quinn was out drinking. He the last person who saw you. So now I find Quinn at a club. I'm following him. Quinn is linked to you. But Quinn and Tink are cool. Tink go leave to go do something. I follow Tink. I get back to the apartment and Quinn is missing. I'm looking for a lead to you. And Quinn is missing. Why wouldn't I keep following, trying to figure out what happened to Quinn and let Tink do it? When I'm looking for what happened to you.
Because me as the mayor came up murdered too. So now we're like, okay, damn.
Exactly. And the girl who was linked to the mayor is missing. Why would you stop looking for her?
You got a point. I may have to go. We might got to rewatch it again.
We got to rewatch it.
We got to rewatch it. I rewatched it and
I'm a Batman fan. I've been defending Batman on Nerd Flow from day one.
Facts.
I'm a Batman fan. So for me to, and I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm saying the story that they wrote. A lot of it doesn't make sense. Like I'm definitely going to go watch the second one because I see what they're doing with like how he is in Bruce Wayne yet. He's just like in a Bruce Wayne shell. Like
he's not really even Batman yet.
So
he's more Batman than he is. Like he's leaning more into being Batman.
He's more angry instead of being more
brooding. He ain't embraced being Bruce Wayne.
He ain't embraced being Batman.
Them trashy ass suits he was wearing was getting on my nerves too. Bro, why that tie so skinny?
All right, Charles. Let me throw this out here.
Hipster version of him.
This is my connection.
Cannot be angry tonight.
When I sat there and before I decided to really pay attention to the Batman, I had to go and watch Gotham. I feel like if you watch Gotham, Robert Pattinson's Batman is the Bruce Wayne that they picked up from Gotham.
I like that. I can see that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So he still is struggling with who he wants to be, and he really is still emo.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna say this and satisfy Tink, satisfy Dope, and all the people who have watched Nerd Flow.
I gotta rewatch it.
And watch Nerd Flow.
Record this shit.
I have seen it 2 times in the theaters already. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Record this shit.
I was not happy when Robert Pattinson was named to be the Batman.
He was not.
I mean, we got episodes.
All that was in my mind is that this shiny ass pale face
Twinkle Toes. He called him Twinkle Toes.
It wasn't nothing Twinkle Toes about him in this movie.
You're dancing around it. Get to the meat. Get to the meat. We dancing around it.
Then ended up watching Tenet, and it started to change my mind because I saw his persona in Tenet.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Batman, even though I fell asleep a numerous amount of times. But this time, since it was on HBO, I forced myself to watch it. He didn't do bad as a Batman.
No.
Here's my issue with the movie. Here's my issue with the Batman's grounded in real life. This is going back to Nolan's Batman. I don't like that he's so personable. I don't like that they took away the Batman that I'm used to that whispers in somebody's ear and then they start confessing all of their secrets and thoughts because they know like they both scared of Batman.
They didn't take.
Well, he got a build to that.
Did you watch the beginning?
He got a build to that. Like he just like you said, it's year 2.
No, he don't got a build to that. Remember what the dude with the watermelon head that robbed the bank? He just thought Batman was around and got scared.
Yeah,
remember the dudes trying to on the bank? They was looking in the darkness, like, damn, Batman.
I always been the thing when they see like the bat signal. I know what talking about.
What I'm saying, he already had a name for himself. Even
he's talking about like in Justice League when like Superman was interrogating this dude and Superman couldn't get an answer out of him, and Batman walked to him and whispered something to him, and the dude went to spilling his guts, and the Flash asked Superman, "What did he say?" And Superman was like, "You don't want to know." He talking about that. Like not to see the bat signal
that's
in the
years
sky.
and years and
But
years
no,
of being
That's what I was
Batman.
gonna say.
remember the scene
But this is
where
what
the
I'm
dude
getting
was
to, y'all.
looking in the
If y'all
dark?
let me finish,
Okay, but I'm just saying he was looking in the dark. He didn't even know Batman was there. Forget the bat signal. He was looking in some darkness and just got his mind. Ooh, the Batman might be around, and they got the.
let me
tripping.
finish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go
All
for it,
right,
go for it.
so another thing that bothered me about that is every time you saw him walking, they made it sound like a damn opera.
Spaghetti. No,
Like
when
this-
you hear his boots clacking like it was a
Yeah,
fucking
like
spaghetti
he in the
western.
Wild Wild West,
I
like
couldn't
he was
stand that
goddamn
shit.
Mandalorian. And when
First
he
off,
was
take off them fucking military drill instructor boots, because that's what the fuck they was.
But they
Every
did it
time
on
he,
purpose.
Because they
though.
did it on purpose to make him seem heavier than what he was.
And
they
they
have to do
wanted
it.
to make because look, what was that Batman with Morgan Freeman? Was part of
It was Chris Nolan's.
Yeah, he had a R&D department behind him. He had whole Wayne Enterprises behind him.
I'm not.
Batman.
The boots.
This one, it was just him.
I'm saying you didn't need to show him walking in every room, showing him at boot perspective. Every time he walked in the room.
Hey man,
I got it the first time.
The boots
I
was
was
made
like,
for walking. What you want us to do?
I got it the first time. I was like, oh, they're trying to be. They were trying to, because that's what it was. They had the clicking like cowboy boots. I got the whole Lone Ranger vibe from it the first time they did it. The 27th time they did it, I was like, all right, y'all. Like, I don't want to buy these boots. Why the fuck are y'all?
Y'all want to really know what really messed me up is when he was running from the folks and he ran to the rooftop and ran outside and he said, "Oh,
heck yeah,
Batman."
No, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Once you get up there, you can psych yourself up into jumping until you get up there and you gotta jump. I don't care if you Batman or not.
That's what I'm saying. That's a weird. We're not talking about seasoned that and been through it all with Joker and all this. And
I'm just saying.
This is
for people.
Also, okay. Also, this is
before. You still got a heights after year 2.
Yeah.
You've been running on rooftop for 2 years.
I've been living for 37 years. I don't even want to jump in the 6 foot in the pool.
Yeah. That's sad on your part. I'm 6 feet tall.
Okay.
I know when I land in the water, I ain't finna drown me.
I ain't doing it.
Okay. I think I think this is before Ra's al Ghul too. Before he gets trained into being a ninja, before he gets trained into being silent, and you have to be more of a ninja in the dark.
Them heavy ass boots.
Exactly. I think the boots gonna go away once he learns more about his combat skills and once he learns more of a ninja way.
In this movie, he's a brawler.
Because
this is another thing that bothered me. Here's another thing that bothered me because I'm thinking, and a lot of stuff started to come. What was he talking to Gordon and he just turned around and Gordon like talking to himself because he turned around. What was that
one time?
He did it one time.
It happened one time in the movie. Yeah. Like I caught all that, and I would definitely go see the next one because I get the build up. I get it, but
it's a good movie. It's just
I'm not saying
he's not saying it's bad, but he just don't like some of the things in it. And I get
it's unnecessarily long for one thing.
Like I said, the Selena Kyle, that was 30 minutes. They could, bro.
Colin Farrell is the Penguin. I like, but
I love it.
When you can't even tell who a character is, that's when that's like magnificent.
But that whole car chase scene
was sexy.
Me,
loved it.
I felt like
V12. He had a V14 engine in that.
I felt like a lightning bolt hit my penis when that when that motherfucker revved up the first time.
No, here's my issue with the car chase scene, and I'm just gonna let y'all know this. You got all this motor. Why the hell you falling behind on Penguin, bro? You should have been caught up to Penguin. But coolest scene in the movie to me, is when Penguin caused that crash and he was like, "Yeah, I got rid of," and that motherfucker jumped through that fire. Got to give it to it. Coolest scene in the movie.
I pray they don't change the Batmobile.
Was he beating folks' ass in the movie? Yes, he was beating ass, and I'm talking about brawling style where they got to pull your ass up. You got some issues, bro. Like them.
They got to pull you off the man. Yeah.
That's the thing, but it was just.
That's what I'm saying. It's more brawler, more wrestler than it is ninja style. Like
I like it. I like the
heavy. Molly raised a question. He said, "Why did the movie come out on HBO Max so fast, though?"
Because it was doo doo.
No. Here's my.
It wasn't doo doo.
No.
It wasn't doo doo.
Here's my speculation.
I gave it a 7 because. Even when you go back and you watch the Batman animated series and you read the Batman comic books and things like that, it was like even Nolan's Batman when he was coming into just being Batman, really getting his suit and everything, which I was sneaking and giggling about. That's why two people can't be in the same room.
Keep going.
You don't want to know.
Keep going.
But it was because if we think about Batman Begins, it was Batman. He hadn't even been Batman that long, even in Batman Begins. But it was something about this Batman movie, even being in year 2, especially with it using a lot of the long Halloween themes in it, that bothered me because it just didn't sync up right. Because if you're going to throw Falcone being Selina's father in there unnecessarily, because you could have started this off at the beginning of the long Halloween and ended somewhere down the line a couple of movies later, or the next movie with the whole Selina and Falcone thing. Like, you spent the whole time trying to solve these riddles. Yeah, you were solving the riddles, but you and Gordon, the way you treated Alfred, which is what made me lead to think it was more linked to the Bruce Wayne from Gotham. And it was just this whole thing of it was discontinuous for me.
I think they had too many stories going on for one.
That's
what it was. It had too many stories. Like the stories wasn't bad, but it was unnecessary.
And here's another thing. What made me think about Gotham is when Riddler was talking about you were supposed to watch it burn with me. Remember in Gotham, that's all Ra's al Ghul wanted was to watch Gotham burn. And
Batman Begins, that's what he wanted.
Exactly. Everything. That's what I'm thinking. Like everything is coming, but they show Joker at the end. That's what throws me off. He and Joker in Arkham. But the one thing that surprised me, y'all gonna be surprised. Don't even know if this is canon or not. I did not know Bruce Wayne's mama was original maiden name is Arkham. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That was cool. That was a cool spot for me too. Because it makes sense.
And I was just like, what the? And then the fact that Martha suffered from mental illness at one point.
It even showed like the when Thomas was Batman and his mama became Joker. Like you can even draw those parallels from that. Well, Bruce was her anchor, and once Bruce died, she went back into her mental illness, and she became the Joker. That's what I thought about.
Hold on.
That's flashpoint for you.
Before we continue, who was watching Child Bruce in the window in the beginning of the movie?
That wasn't Child Bruce.
That was Child Bruce.
No, it wasn't. That was the Riddler. That was the Riddler looking at the dude family that was running.
Yeah, that wasn't Child Bruce. That was the Riddler looking at the mayor and his family.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Bruce. I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, so
I was like, who was that?
But here's the thing: all those parallels run together, and all those parallels, even Bruce watching Falcone, watching his dad work on Falcone, is in the Long Halloween. But what they're missing from the Long Halloween, if you're gonna go along that tape. That was supposed to be year 2 of Batman. Batman was still a ninja. He had already trained with the League of Shadows.
Take everything.
In this one.
If they wanted to make if they wanted you to watch the Long Halloween, they would have just told you to go watch the Long Halloween. Like they still gotta, make changes to stuff. I don't want to see a shot for shot remake of anything.
Right.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. But if I think about the comparison to Gotham, I know a lot of people say they didn't like Gotham because it became more about the villains. The reason I like Gotham is because it did exactly what I always wanted to see in a Batman. The TV show did exactly what I always wanted to see in a Batman movie, except it was a TV show without a Batman. You just had a young Bruce Wayne learning the beginning trails to becoming a Batman. You had the Scarecrow, Jarvis Tetch, which I feel like Jarvis Tetch, the Mad Hatter, would be great in a Batman movie. You had, I like the way they twisted with the Jokers with the twin brothers. I love that twist. So you had Jeremiah and you had
okay. I get what you're saying.
Valesco, but they were twin brothers, and you had the one twin that was the actual supposed to be the Joker who had his face removed, which reminds me of the Joker, not Nolan's Joker, that had his face actually removed and reattached. What was that Joker?
The Batman.
Anyway, then you had the other twin that became the more that was the smarter Joker, the more serious, more maniacal, planning, scheming Joker.
Like so the killing joke.
Yeah, like the killing joke, which brought his parents back, which kidnapped some people and had Jarvis Tetch hypnotize them, and he had facial reconstruction done on them to make them look like Bruce's parents. Then you also had Scarecrow, you had two different kinds of Jokers, you had Penguin, Riddler, you had the story with Gordon between his two different supposed to be wives, which you never know because in certain movies Lee Thompson is his wife, and then in certain other comics Barbara is his wife. So that throws that caveat in there, and then you're dealing with all the other subpart villains like Solomon Grundy, Bane. You got all these
born on the Monday.
You got all these different villains in here. You even got what's the dummy name? Scarface and Mr. Pink. Like and I was just like, these are the villains other than the Joker that I want to see in these movies. And they gave it to me in the TV show, and a lot of people was just like, "Oh, Falcone in the TV show." You got Fish Mooney in the TV show. You got the Sirens. You got all these other ones in the TV show, and I'm like, this is what I wanted to see in the movies, which I was hoping from the new Batman series movies that we'll get other characters. But when I saw Joker, I was just like, yep.
Just because they showed them don't mean they necessarily got to use them.
I got a feeling they're going to use them. And I'm saying they finna hurt themselves because of the fact between Ledger and Jack, you really going to have to impress me with another Joker.
I don't think you got to try that.
The guy they got from the Eternals, Barry, I think Kogan is his last name.
He in jail now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's out now, but still, even they flash in jail, but that's another story. They left out a scene. They left out a deleted scene. I was like, what's 5 more minutes? Y'all already drawed out the movie, but this 5 minutes you could have kept in there. But it was more of like a Hannibal type of the Silence of the Lambs type, like when old girl came and talked to Hannibal about the crimes and whatnot, and he gave him like a little piece of information of like, well, he likes to do this and do this and do this. I can tell by how he does this. That they should have left in the movie to give more backstory on like how Batman actually goes and asks for like help even from the Joker, even though they're supposed to be sworn enemies, but they can't live without each other type of deal, which is pretty much how they go on in the whole
That's
freaking
another
comic.
thing I appreciate about Gotham, because Jeremiah's version
We're not
of the
talking
Joker.
about Gotham.
But I'm making the links because it's, to me, after the last Nolan film, Gotham was the closest thing we had to Batman. And I feel like they picked up where Gotham ended, because Jeremiah, after he fell into the bad acid, was in the hospital. But he ends back up in Arkham. And I feel like Jeremiah Velasco was sitting up there like, me and you are meant to be, if we can't be best friends and be brothers, we're supposed, his exact words, if we can't be best friends and be brothers, then we're going to be enemies for life. And we think about Batman and Joker's relationship. It's, when it boils down to it, it's almost like, hey, we either gonna kick it together or we gonna hate each other. All right, you chose the latter, so we gonna hate each other. Therefore, and you can't die until I die. I'm gonna try to kill you. I know you ain't gonna try to kill me, but if I kill you, because we remember when Joker thought Batman was dead, he lost his damn mind. He was already crazy, but he lost his damn mind. He was sad. He had no purpose of living anymore.
And I think was about to kill himself, wasn't he?
Yes.
A true love story.
So, question. Did anybody else, the twins, right? Did anybody else think they were like hitting that Tweedledee Tweedledum with the two twins
Yes.
at the
Oh, that's what it was.
That's why they need to start bringing up Jarvis Tetch.
That's what it was.
Alex
I'm
Tetch,
like,
Jarvis Tetch, Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Like, I need
That's what
these
it was.
subpart characters, bro, because I feel like I've always said this: Batman got a huge rogue gallery, bro, and the fact Spider-Man got a huge rogue gallery. Y'all know that's been my gripe with Spider-Man and Batman for the longest. Why y'all keep recycling the same villains?
Well, I had a good idea for Poison Ivy, and I'm trying to get with Warner Brothers so they can put your boy on the payroll.
I love the way they did Poison Ivy and Gotham. If you have,
no, they need to do Javaris Ray version Poison Ivy. Fuck all that. I'm trying to get on the payroll.
Javaris Ray Poison Ivy need to be on Pornhub. But
no, see, you don't even know my Poison Ivy is. Check, you don't even know my and then it's based on, it could be, because it's realistic. So, you know, this Batman is based in realism. Like, my way of how she became Poison Ivy is realistic. I don't want to say it on the podcast, then they're going to steal it and I ain't going to get paid for it. But, you know, y'all hit your boy up.
I heard it before, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, thanks, see?
But to answer Molly's why did it come so fast? I just think it was just a cash grab, because they're going to get those HBO Max customers.
Yeah.
Want to go to the movies.
Yeah, they don't want to
People
go
still
to
don't want to go to the movies.
Just
they
like
was like, let's put it in the movies because we don't want to make it look cheap, but let's hurry up and get it on HBO Max real fast, so we can get those people that don't want to go to the movies. Let's get their money too.
Fucking walking around with these heavy ass boots everywhere. I'm sorry, man. Them boots they fucking annoying.
Yo, they might well put some seals on my boy with the boots.
Like,
hey, but in the defense,
has he ever failed in water?
Didn't it say Gotham Square Garden instead of Madison Square Garden? So they was in New York. So Son had on his boots.
Well, everybody always know. Yeah,
it's modeled after New York.
New York City.
Yeah.
But this time they just made it clear, like,
yeah,
New York. So
Son
had on his Tim's, son. What you want him to do?
There wasn't no Tim's.
That was some Buffalino. Some B boots on.
Every time he walked, you heard. But another thing.
If I call Batman in real life right now for whatever reason, and he show up in them boots as opposed to some little slipper boots or whatever, I'm gonna be like, all right, I want him on the case because he got them boots on. He gonna put them boots on the motherfucking neck.
Saw the case. He might whoop some ass, but he ain't gonna saw the case.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something that was so funny to me though. In that movie, when he jumped off the roof, the part where I said he got scared when he ran off, when he put on the wingsuit, the gliding suit, and when he hit that bridge and he started tumbling,
He hit that motherfucker.
That looked like it was.
That was the most realistic
I
time.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Exactly.
Because I honestly, when I was watching the movie, I was like, "Yo, why don't we just get rid of the cape?" Like when I was watching the movie, I was like, I think it's time for a Batman redesign. But then when he used the cape, I was like,
but they did get rid of the cape though, because he has another persona called the Drifter or the Grifter, the Drifter. When he's dressed in the plain clothes and a little flight jacket and little button-up shirt and the little helmet on his back, he's called the Drifter. Because it's more realistic. You can't get around a city looking like Batman. Like, I'm like, it's Batman.
About the Batman design need a redesign. Like, because I really did when I saw the movie. I was like, all right. When they showed the scene with him walking with them thick ass boots on, and the cape was draping behind him.
I don't like them clothes.
What you call was draped behind him. The cape. I was like, all right, bro. Like I said, huge Batman fan. I was like, think I'm kind of sick of seeing the cape. But then when he used it in this movie, I was like, oh, okay, he can keep this cape. I'm fucking with this cape.
But y'all, I know the others, y'all. When he hit that bridge and he started tumbling, and he got up, he was like,
That's the most realistic Batman ever.
That showing your shining shit right now, my nigga.
Nigga, you to the bridge. You gonna be shining too.
Hold on. Think about it. There's no Joker. There's no real villain. In his story, the Riddler was his first real foe. So think about it. Up until then,
that we know of, because the Joker was still the Joker is in Arkham, locked away. That we know of.
No, we know of. But think about it like this: Year 2 Batman. He's, for the most part, all we know is he's just fighting thugs on the street.
Street thugs, yeah.
So what reason does he have to jump off of a roof? For all we know, that time we saw it in the movie, that was his first experience.
So the Batman I want to see.
I like how you keep throwing that year 2 in there, like it's gonna change my mind.
It's gonna change something. But the Batman I want to see, and I would prefer to see it in the series. Which I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm mad at myself that I didn't keep up with Gotham because it lost me in the first season. But then I came back and I watched it on Netflix, all 5 seasons. So now I understand. I would like to see how him and Commissioner Gordon ended up having their relationship. I would like to see the build.
Commissioner Gordon was a fan of his in this movie. And they said that in the behind the scenes, like the director and all that, they were like, he was a fan.
But
there was one scene with Commissioner Gordon that had me. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, yeah, that was a black dude answer there. I can't remember what it was, but he said something, and I was like, here, brother. I'm fucking with this Commissioner Gordon.
You know, Batman always left up with a lot of plot holes. Like, damn, how this happen? When did this happen? Like, how did they meet? How do they know? Stuff like that. So I know I never get those answers because those answers are not even in the comic book. But I gave this movie a 7. I expect better in the next movie. First of all, yeah, Riddler
whoop Batman ass. Batman is 0-1 against Gotham right now. Fuck what nobody say.
He really 0-1 versus Gotham. But
one need to buy votes for everybody
in jail.
He gave it. He was in a coffee shop.
He kind of gave himself away. Yeah.
He kind of gave himself away. He was in a coffee shop and he had his phone in the shape of a question mark. He didn't kind of give himself up. That man was like, he said, "I'm tired of winning." Like I thought. He even said it. And he was like, "I thought you was smarter than that." He was tired of whooping that man's ass.
But this is the thing. I did not like Riddler's costume, and I
love
know
it.
it's grounded
I
in
love it.
reality.
I
know it's
did.
grounded in reality,
I'm
but
gonna be there for Halloween if I can.
but
I
the
love this
but
costume.
the I don't like the fact that his name is not Enigma, but it may be Enigma because he got a lot of different he had a lot of different passports and IDs and stuff. But the look that they gave him reminded me of an Enigma. You know, real
basically
nerdy.
it went along with the boots, right? They said that they wanted to make sure they wanted to say they said what could if a dude just started up like what would he do? They said they gave him stuff that you can just get at a military surplus store.
Yeah, they even said it like in the little chat that they showed like in the chat like, oh, you can get this and you can get that from here and blah 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 from here. Yeah, I got it in the year
as
2
as opposed to a dude sitting at a damn one of them sewing machines sewing together his costume like he just he knows something about sewing like I'm gonna put my costume together
like Spider-Man.
Hey, no disrespect to the Jim
anybody
Carrey.
else, right?
No disrespect to the Jim Carrey Riddler.
The fuck was that?
Ghost.
That's my Alexa that talk like Samuel L. Jackson now.
You can take him out of the hood.
Hey, he will tell you that. Like he wakes you up in the morning, wake your motherfucking ass up for real.
Hey, sometimes that's what you need. But yeah, I mean they did it real on the realistic level, so I respect it.
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8. I will say let me all right. If Ben Affleck ever got a solo Batman movie, I'm not gonna argue with nobody. He would be the best Batman. Michael Keaton, I don't give a fuck who y'all say. I feel like if the Batman from Batman v Superman, if he got his own movie, would hands down be the best Batman. But because we never got a solo movie from him, I think Robert Pattinson is in the argument for best Batman. I will for Batman. Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. I'm talking about as the Batman character. Like Bruce Wayne, I would give it to Christian Bale. But Batman, I think I would give it to Robert Pattinson. I'd argue it. I'd definitely argue it. But you can't say Christian Bale would do. Where are they? Nah.
Yeah.
Wait on me.
What's better than?
Yeah. I'm gonna need more than that from Pattinson before I give it up to him.
Why wouldn't GZ Doctor Forever? I'm sorry, I butchered that, but why wouldn't the Riddler go after Falcone? If his idea was to cleanse Gotham of corruption, Falcone would have been number one.
He was trying to because Thomas. I feel like because Thomas Wayne was the golden child. How else to expose corruption? Like we know, if you showed me that a mob boss before he became the head mob boss drowned some cats, I'm like, that motherfucker was a mob boss. Like, what the fuck you expect? But if you show me that like Thomas Wayne was involved with mob bosses, I'm like, well, fuck, who can I trust in Gotham? This man started the Hope Foundation.
So he's going after So he's going after the people that claim that they're righteous.
Yeah, that's why he went after the mayor, and that's why he corrupt.
But Falcone,
like I expect him to be corrupt. He a mob boss. Like we all know he a mob boss.
That's why he
can't surprise me as shit he do.
Exposed to the light,
right?
Because Falcone is a mob boss. Nobody expects the mob boss to be the rat.
Yeah, so that's why I think he went after. There was the whole him going after Bruce Wayne because what is that? And I get the sins of the father, blah blah blah. I understand that, but it didn't make sense in this story. Like Bruce Wayne didn't do shit to you. Like his daddy already dead. You want to kill Bruce Wayne?
But what he said was, while he was an orphan, everybody was always worried about this billionaire orphan.
Hey,
so
he had his own.
That was a Jay-Z line. That's a female trait.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When he was trying to get a hold of Alfred, it had some good scenes in it. I ain't lying. When he was trying to get a hold of Alfred, and the old girl answered the phone, and she was like, "You're too late." I was like, "Oh."
And that's a good question, GZ. That was a good question, GZ. But
another thing about this movie is because I gotta admit, I dig this technology. The contact lenses. I was digging that shit.
I liked it.
That was cool. That was
the most technological gadget. That was the most technological gadget.
Too, right?
Year 2.
But it's year 2 Batman. Fuck out of here.
Bro,
you can't afford no
Batmobile look
you can't afford no lighter boost, but you can get some HD recording contact lenses.
He hasn't learned the art of being silent.
You gotta pick your spots.
I guess like you say, he's still fighting. You kick somebody with them motherfuckers.
I would you know he had that big V16 engine sitting on the table, but you invented some goddamn 4K contact lens.
No, that was a jet engine. Like that was a jet engine. Don't change. Do not change the Batmobile. Lord, I love that Batmobile.
Look like a goddamn on Chevelle or something. I was like,
I think that's what it was.
Nah, I ain't
that
gonna lie.
Was sexy, boy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, because it's a classic car. That's why I was digging it.
But then
when that motherfucker was over, when it was back there in the back, and they first seen it power up, like when he first turned it on, and they was looking. I was like, "Oh,
that made that noise." I turned to blank, man.
Yeah.
Well, that car was sexy, boy. I love muscle cars too. Lord.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I went angry with the boots.
I can't let them boots go.
I appreciate the rest of the
they said they're Austrian military boots.
That nigga in America.
Send the bitch back to Germany. That's what the SS was walking in.
That motherfucker had them boots that Brock Lee was wearing before when he was fighting Gara.
Man, he had to take the ankle weights off. Hey, but for real though, like I know he year 2.
Because Dope gonna keep trying to
year 2, but like all the heaviness.
LeBron to just get 5 out the gate, like we a rookie, like come on.
But LeBron was still putting up numbers though.
He was too.
You know, like all the extra weight on his arms, like you know, like all the extra gear he had on. I know it was a suit of armor. Don't get me wrong. Because he was taking some bullets. The batarang in the
chest was dope.
That was
fly.
That was fly.
Like, why wouldn't they think of that sooner?
Yeah.
But because they're gonna change that suit because right now he really has no mobility.
So Robert Pattinson said on Kimmel or one of those, he said he went to the Warner Brothers studio and tried on every Batman, either since Keaton or since the TV show. I think it was Keaton. He said he had some of them, like the foam was ripping off of them, but then they was getting mad at him, like, man, don't mess up these costumes. But he was like, he said he liked the Keaton body and he liked the Bell head or something like that. Like he was like he liked 2 different like the head.
He definitely did like Keaton head. Pause.
Pause. Big pause.
Cause that motherfucker turn around like this in movies.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Hey, yo, Keaton helmet. Don't get me wrong. Keaton helmet was stiff as hell.
That motherfucker was. Yeah.
But you got to think about it. That Batman was made in the 80s before we had
I think he said he likes Keaton's suit, and I think
it was Clooney's helmet.
Clooney's helmet. There we go.
That could fit his head.
Yeah.
You know, we can talk about the Clooney movies all they want to. They except them nipples. Them bad nipples.
I'm put it this way.
But there was some dope. Like I like Robin's costume in them movies, bro.
His costume is dope.
But them nipples though.
But yeah.
Could you imagine like Batman whooping you and then you look up like Vision all haze and he like
I done whooped that ass.
Bat nipples.
But I'm gonna put it this way.
Blame it on this, y'all. I'm sorry.
Like, and we gonna get into this. The Joel Schumacher movies were more villain-esque. Even though Poison Ivy and Bane, I hated them. But Two-Face,
they got worse rated by Hollywood acting coach. Those were the worst rated ones. He went in and rated all the Batman movies and villains in their performances. And Sub-Zero, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman rated the lowest.
Yeah, I can agree with them. Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face / Harvey Dent. Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman, which another thing I love about Gotham,
She
they
got
found
rated
a young
pretty low,
girl. They found a young girl that looks so much like Michelle Pfeiffer that played,
Yeah.
Selena Kyle. They did that. And, of course, Jack is the Joker, and, what's his Danny DeVito as Penguin. Like, those were perfect to me. They really failed in the aspect of Bane, Poison Ivy, and
They fell from the jump with Bane when they just made him a brute, a mindless brute. They felt like Bane has always been smart. He know who he is. He knew who Batman was. He's like one of
mindless though. I mean, he had some masterminding kind of.
What I give to
not in the Uma Thurman when he was
in Batman and Robin. He was.
Okay,
yeah. No,
I give it to Nolan. Nolan, even though I was not impressed with when I first saw that, this nigga Bane. But then once he started talking, and if you know Bane, once he starts talking and everything like that, you like, okay, this ain't coming
in the comics. In the storyline, wasn't Bane like Hispanic?
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Him in that kind of
Eduardo Ramos.
Yeah. I didn't like Nolan's Bane. I hated Nolan's Bane, honestly.
I liked him.
I didn't like the voice.
I was looking
in the movie theaters. I was looking at everybody. I was like, "Is this a joke?"
What a lovely singing voice! You crazy?
That voice came on. I was like, "Are y'all serious?" I was laughing. But
I fuck with him. Then when he was giving Batman the hands,
I love the fact that he intelligent, because even in the comic books and the animated series, Bane is still seen as intelligent. It's just that the Venom gives him that brute strength, and sometimes it can overtake him.
Yeah,
I see you with
Bane is intelligent.
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the until I was already a man.
That's how I know when Angry B guy like somebody, he can do that voice.
Man, I love that movie.
But yeah.
But we can go on all day about this, man. But honestly, man, we gotta watch it. I have to watch it again to get Angry's points of why he let the cold case go with the girl.
I'm just saying, like, all four of us watched it, only one of us watched it all the way through, and it's the one who didn't like it.
No, I watched it all the way through the second time.
I watched it all the way through. I didn't pick up on that. No, I watched it all the way through. The 8th time, but I had to rewind it and watch it all the way through.
I said it was. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, and I might after I watch the one with Heath Ledger in it, because I watch that like twice a year, because that's just the greatest villain portrayal in movie history. And
I just picked up that pop yesterday, and that's another thing. Oh, to answer Molly's point, we sitting in the bed yesterday, right? And we see the Batman on HBO Max and all this stuff, and then we on the Fire Stick, and they got the Amazon thing. Oh, shop now, and that's Heath Ledger Joker pop. I clicked on that bad boy. It's already
he clicked it so fast, like it was like a right click and go. And I'm like, did you even think about it? Did you think about it? Did you even second guess this purchase?
I just clicked Heath Ledger pop, bam. It showed the Batman pops, right? And then when you click on them, like we was looking through them, we was like, we got all these, and then it was like others also like this, and then had the Heat. So it's like a money grab, because they know what
they grabbed your money.
They got that high 15.
They snatched that.
So, like I said, bro, for me, when it comes to the Joker, there's two different types of Jokers. There's the comedic Joker, and there's the serious Joker. Heath is the serious Joker. The comedic Joker is Jack for me. So therefore, I love both of them. Any other Joker coming along for me, if you're not Mark Hamill, when it comes to the actual Joker, is number one. I gotta give it to him.
Heath was a joke. Heath had jokes too, though.
Man, he sure made that pencil disappear.
I mean, But like just being the Joker, being the Joker and Batman, that is Mark Hamill and Kevin Conway.
You want to know how I got these scars? Man, it was killing me, boy.
Bro, I don't care. It could be 70 years from now.
We gotta give honorable mention to Joaquin Phoenix. Now, y'all might
not.
I
didn't want to bring it up, but I definitely was thinking that, like,
yeah.
I would like to see him make an appearance because his origin story. He killed that dog.
He did.
100 years from now, when somebody says, "Why so serious?
Why so serious?" Yeah.
And that little lick lip he did. Yeah, that was.
Classic line is seen to me is, where does he get all those wonderful toys? Like Jack did that. Y'all can't take that from my boy. He has
that long ass barrel gun.
My boy said. The recoil on that motherfucker went through his
head.
Had a Colt 58.
Now, Batman.
Like, it was so funny when Batman punched him in the mouth. He spit out some clattering teeth with blood on it. Like, that's the Joker that I grew up on. Now, when you got into the graphic novels, Heath Ledger was the Joker that you ran into as an adult.
Yeah.
Like, Jack had the hand buzzer that, you know, he had the cards, he had the spray, you know, the laughing spray. That
now another honorable mention, and I know everybody's gonna be, but in the Arkham Asylum game, whoever played that Joker was good too.
That was Mark Hamill.
That was Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Yeah,
in the game.
Kevin Conway and Mark Hamill did all man. Kevin Conway and Mark Hamill did all the voices for Arkham.
He did a good job.
He the Joker.
When you had to walk Joker and he was in a straight jacket, and you had to
walk a straight jacket at the beginning.
Yeah, that scene was crazy, dog.
That was a good.
I'm almost at level 200 on Destiny. Guess what I gotta go do now? I downloaded it was for free. I gotta go play all the Arkham games now.
I need to go play Elden Ring.
I beat that I beat Arkham Asylum in the week because that's when I was like broke.
Oh,
but I still had a PS3, so I would buy games from GameStop, beat them in a week, and take them back. And that was one.
Oh, that Croc level when you had to walk.
Yes.
Oh,
man.
Yeah. And then he pop up and you got to hit him with the batarang.
Yes.
Me and this game we beat all the Arkham games. Don't get us wrong. We almost bought the Telltale series.
Only one I didn't beat was the Origin because it was made by a different studio though.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah, but it had that Deathstroke Batman fight scene. Oh my goodness.
When is Arkham Knights coming out? Next year? This year?
I don't care. Not until I get a PlayStation 5. It don't bother me when it come out.
I'm definitely playing that. But anyway.
So what type of movie do we want to see for Batman 2? Me, I'm thinking Arkham Asylum. Like I want him to be locked up in an asylum with all the crooks, all the villains.
If this is grounded in reality, I feel like Hush and Deathstroke should be like a Hush.
He too new for Deathstroke because Deathstroke
it should be Hush then.
Because Deathstroke would fucking kill this Batman.
Yeah,
he couldn't be the Riddler.
He's still new.
Because it's his second year. It's year 2 Batman.
Slade gonna tear that ass up.
Exactly.
Slade gonna tear that ass up.
Mercenary. Like Slade is too advanced for this Batman. He ain't there yet. He also needs to go through training with Ra's al Ghul first.
Yeah.
Slade gonna say, "See these boots."
Man,
your boots might be heavy, but these boots gonna be lifting your ass.
Man.
But the thing about it is like just the setting that they did. They kind of typecast themselves because let's not forget that it is like a 7 or
that's why Hush would be good for it.
You know, they got to keep it in that vein of like a dark thriller, murder mystery.
Because you think about it, Bruce already is emo as hell. He trying to figure out who he is. He just learned about his father. So just say in this next Batman movie, he off training with the League of Shadows, and you got Hush coming in taking over his persona, and he got to come back and establish himself as Bruce Wayne.
I think the Arkham angle would be good because then you wouldn't have to have origin stories for a lot of villains, like, or this villain is locked up and he got eczema. He used to play football. They call him Killer Croc in here. Well, just some shit like that. Like, he'll just be locked up and you can get introduced to a lot of villains without having to go into backstories because he's trying to escape. Let's just say the Joker and the Riddler, since they showed those two at the end, they team up. They take it over. They got the Warden Hell hostage. Batman come in there. He get locked down with him. And I feel like you can just show just a lot of different villains.
And that makes sense, too, because you know how they was calling him Freak, the police, everything. You know, right now the police already don't like him.
They'll never like him.
No, they'll never like him. I mean, it's 8 to years later that the police really like Batman. But him getting locked down in Arkham makes a lot of sense too. I'm just thinking about the reality of it. If you're gonna stay in this realm of reality, you know,
and it's so much.
Yep.
And Quarter Owls, I know how a lot of people feel about Quarter Owls also, but I also, in a reality-based Batman story, Quarter Owls makes a lot of sense also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even from this Batman, a lot of loose ends, because you see how many people Riddler rallied. You would think that he was still having to be dealing with that.
He definitely gonna have. It's still gonna have to be even in other movies, like even when the Joker disappears, or just in Batman Beyond, the Joker was gone, but you still had a gang calling themselves the Jokers. So yeah, he's definitely gonna still. I mean, though some been like gone, and you still got to deal with our kind, you know.
Even in this movie, you had a gang dressed like clowns.
Which let's talk about that. I'm so glad you brought that up. The fuck was the deal with the dude who played Jason Todd? Not Jason Todd, but the third Joker. I mean, the third Robin.
On Titans.
Yeah, why was he in this movie?
I mean, I think
as a Joker.
I think he was just a cast thing. He just wanted to be in.
And that's another reason I don't like the Warner Brothers just saying gonna never get it together.
And be like,
he gonna have to because that didn't make sense to me.
He's nowhere near this.
If they bring what's y'all favorite Flash name? Gus. If they bring him in,
yeah.
If they bring him in and replace Ezra, they're gonna have to do something different with the Batman because he's not gonna fit into Flashpoint.
I mean, he'll fit into it because they come from two different.
Mixed it up.
They come from two different worlds. Like Batman, and if you think about it, Batman and Superman shouldn't be in the same world because Metropolis and Gotham are so far apart. But you know, they clash because of the villains or because of them. So I don't think they would. I think he'll fit anywhere they go because Gotham is just so different from everywhere else in the world, according to the DC
this is
universe.
What I always wondered, y'all, and just tell me if I'm wrong or not. Clark Kent is from Kansas. Let's just say he's from Topeka, Kansas. Out there in the boonies. I don't even know if Topeka is in the boonies. He's from a small town in Kansas.
Smallville.
You addressing
I'm not just gay, this man.
Just say Smallville.
I'm speaking in reality series. I'm thinking of reality towns.
Right.
Bruce is in New York City.
New York City.
What fucking part of Kansas has Metropolis in it? Because I feel like Bruce
Metropolis is in San Francisco, ain't it?
No,
I thought Metropolis was in my mind. I thought
LA town. It's a California city.
No, it's just up the road.
Yeah,
it's basically Greenville to Jackson.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's why they modeled it after like San Francisco, though.
No, because even in the comic books, you had the Justice League West that was not in that. It was actually called San Francisco. Metropolis had its own city.
Titans was in San Francisco.
Yeah, Metropolis had its own city, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, was Metropolis supposed to be Middle America, Houston, LA, or something? Because guess what? Ain't no Metropolis in Kansas. But no. Batman and
Shout
Superman.
Shout out to all our viewers from Kansas. We love you.
But could it have been that Metropolis was New Jersey? Because Batman and Superman cross paths way too much to be in Middle America and on the East Coast.
But see,
well, Superman can fly right fast, so.
Yeah,
Batman used to get there in a split second too.
That nigga got the
jets.
What the hell Joker got? What the hell Joker got a problem with somebody in Middle America with?
It depends on the situation.
He the Joker. Do he need a problem?
Right. It depends on the
problem in general.
I mean, it's true, but Joker really didn't like they villains cross paths too much. Why is
Lex and Joker?
Like even Lex
were friends. Joker. I mean, they like cross paths a lot.
The Legion of Doom was meeting where these niggas was coming from. Where they was meeting at? They was meeting down in Louisiana in the swamp.
Why you gotta hate, bro? God damn.
I'm just trying to figure this out.
He's trying to wrap his head around. How do these people know each other?
I mean,
that's all I'm trying to figure out.
The rich people know rich people.
Because if you go back and watch the Justice League of the Super Friends from back in the day, I know it ain't supposed to make sense, but this is adult me putting my head to stuff. The Legion of Doom, they little business used to come up out of the swamp with seaweed and alligators all around and everybody there. The Hall of Justice was in Metropolis. Like, you mean to tell me Superwoman said, I'm gonna fly? I mean, Wonder Woman said, oh, I'm gonna fly from Greece, and instead of landing in fancy New York, I'm gonna fly to Metropolis.
GZ says in the Joaquin Phoenix version of Joker, it was hinted that the Joker is his brother and rightful heir to the Wayne Enterprises.
Yep.
True. Is that really part of the origin story, or was that written in for a particular movie? I think
that's an origin story. Like, it's a story that they. I think it's like the original story.
Because if you want to think about the Joker's origin story, that will go back to when he was a comedian thinking, and he became this Red Hood, and he ends up falling into the bad acid. The whole thing about the Joker is he's going to end up the Joker that we are accustomed to is that he's going to fall into a bad acid. He's going to come out, his skin is changed, and his mind is warped. But he was always a mobster in some shape, form, or fashion, or a failed comedian. He was one of the two.
It was hinted at in the storyline before.
Huh?
It was hinted at in the storyline before. Not the original one, but it was a storyline that he is like Bruce Wayne's brother.
Yeah. I mean that would make a lot of sense in a lot of instances,
but yeah, they changed that in the they changed that in the movie though, because the woman turned out to be crazy. But I think with the Batman story now with Pats and the storyline of the Joker, both of those women were both.
I don't really like you calling him Pats because it's like you trying to call him Pat.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't make that a thing. Don't make that a thing.
Don't do that.
She said
Pats, not Bats. But in his storyline, I mean, both of them.
He tried his best. He really tried his best to look like he didn't take showers and he wasn't shiny in this movie. He really tried his best.
But if you could, in the Joker storyline, his mom was in the asylum too, and she was a bit crazy. That's how she got in her mind that she slept with Thomas Wayne, and that
clap them cheeks. He ain't shit. Y'all seen him in his movie. He ain't shit.
But in the Batman, in the Batman, his mom also was in Arkham Asylum, so I could see how that storyline could possibly fall. They probably was roommates or something. I don't know.
They can kind of look similar.
Right.
Thomas coming there drunk because he ain't shit.
Oh God.
Saving mob bosses.
All right, y'all. So this is our first show in a minute, so don't mind us if it went long.
Rambling.
A lot of rambling, whatnot. Y'all know how we do it. Then you know what I'm saying. We do partake in a little bit of these type of beverages. You know what I'm saying. So things, things make go.
At Coke, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Wait, whoa, you had what now, sir? We
Coke.
Don't. Oh,
what did he say?
It's in the can.
Okay.
If your can say that on it,
we ain't saying what it say. World's greatest offer.
He got that original version of Coke. He got that original version of Coke with the cocaine in it. So
whoa.
They got a documentary on Mexico's Coca-Cola addiction. And their stuff is made a little different. So
yeah, they got the original formula.
Yeah. But anyway,
what they got?
What
they got to say?
But no, that we did go over a little long, but it was overdue because we missed the last two shows. So forgive us because it's partially my fault and Tink's because AC was out in his house.
And that was neither one of our faults.
Y'all can't control it.
But yeah.
Wait a doggone minute, Rondell. It was not our
next
fault.
time y'all get a Flintstone air conditioner.
But it's 3 computers in our game room.
He's got a big block of ice and a Mastodon blowing on the ice.
Man, he's so childish, bro.
Because with 3 computers going in this little room, bro,
y'all have been burning up,
man.
Hot.
So yeah, so we would have been on sooner, but the AC is working, so thank the universe, and we back. So yeah.
All right, y'all. So we gonna holler at y'all, man. It was good. I can't wait till we can actually get the whole crew back on the show, man. Tink look like she trying to throw Millionaire through the camera to hit somebody. Wait till we get these 3D cameras and this smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision, and we'll let her throw some hammers at y'all. She'll be one of the Hammer brothers from Mario. But until then,
y'all don't want the smell-o-vision. What would happen? That's why she was like, "Why y'all snickling?" I ain't gonna say nothing.
Figure. I figure.
Yeah, it was a smell-o-vision.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all. We don't know when, but when we see y'all, same back place, same back time.
Let's go.
Peace out.